Okay, we're out of the vehicle now, and we're just going to keep going on this pre-trip inspection checklist. And so we're just going to run down our exterior inspections. I do not have the truck on right now. That's just because for this part, we don't really need it on. Right now, we're just kind of doing a visual inspection on everything. We're not really testing anything. We just want to make sure everything looks good and functions. So starting off with the first thing on our list, it says tires. We want to check for wear, cuts, and proper inflation. So what you're going to do is you're just going to walk around and you're just going to look at each tire. And you just are looking for any kind of cuts maybe on the rubber. We want to make sure that, if you can see the lug nuts, which you can't right there because it's got the cap on it. We want to make sure that our lug nuts are looking good, that they're not loose or anything quite like that. We also want to make sure that they're properly inflated. You can give it the good kick test, and if it feels light, you can grab a tire gauge and you can actually test that gauge out and see if it is properly inflated, to see, how inflated you need to make your, right now we're looking at the trailer tires. If you look down here, you can actually see right here, it says, let's see, right there. It says 50 PSI cold. Okay. So you just want to make sure that those tires are up to that inflation. If you're checking out the truck tires and you think that your truck tires are a little low, you can also look on the tire and you can also find what PSI it needs to be. But if you're having a hard time seeing it, you can actually go to the inside of your cab, and right here on the inside of the door, you can actually check and see what PSI they need to be. So looking right here, it says fronts need to be 90, your rear needs to be 80, and your spare needs to be 90. You don't need to check your spare. If you are worried about it, you can climb under there and look at it, give it a good visual inspection, and kind of go from there. Next, we're going to look at the wheels and rims. So we already did that as I was checking the tires. We already looked at their wheels and rims, making sure that the lug nuts weren't loose, making sure that the rim itself wasn't damaged. So as you're doing the tires, just kind of do that whole system right there. Next, we're going to check our lights. So we are right now not checking the functionality of the lights. Right now what we're doing is we're just looking at the lights and we're making sure that they aren't cracked, that they aren't broke, because if they are broke, we need to get them fixed, right? So we're checking out our lights. Those lights look good, those lights look good. And then you also want to check the lights on your trailer, right? So if you have any running lights on the bottom or tops, you need to make sure that those are in working function. So if they're broke or cracked in any way, you need to make sure that you get those fixed as well. Okay. Next, we're going to go to our mirrors. Okay. This is something I like to do when I'm inside the cab. But what we want to do while we're outside the cab is we want to make sure that they're nice and clean. Okay. So this mirror is a little dirty, so I would actually probably take some cleaning solution and it actually kind of clean that up for us. You also want to make sure they're not cracked, broke, anything that's gonna make your trip just a little bit harder. Okay. Next, we're gonna check our windshield and windows and ensure that they are clean and free of cracks. Okay. So this windshield's pretty clean. If it was dirty, I would once again grab some cleaning solution and I would clean it up. I would do the same thing for our windows. I have the windows down right now. So I would actually, when I got inside of the vehicle, I would make sure that they were rolled up and you could check them that way. But I wanted to point this out right here. Okay. This truck actually has a crack in the window. Okay. That does not make it ineligible to drive. What we need to do is make sure that they get filled and they get noted. That way, if they are not filled, they have the possibility of cracking. So we just want to make sure that we put that on our notes. That way, when it comes time to change windows out after the season, we can do that. Next, we want to check our reflectors and make sure that those are clean. Our trucks don't have any reflectors. They have these little lights, but we're looking at the trailer. We have reflectors down here on the side, and then we have some more on the back here as well. So we need to make sure that those reflectors are there, that they're clean, and they're in good working function. So make sure you do the whole walk around to that trailer to do that. And then when we're looking at the body of the truck and trailer, we just want to make sure that there's nothing loose. We want to make sure that if we have hinges right here on the door, that this door isn't going to come open. So we want to make sure that those are good. If there's any loose equipment back here, maybe we want to take that and tuck it up and put it away. You know, we want to make sure that this isn't going to go anywhere. So we just want to walk around the truck and kind of give a good look at that. While I'm back here, I am going to show everybody this. All of our trucks have this fuse panel in the back. This is the driver's side. Okay, so if when you turn on your truck and you aren't getting any trailer lights, this is the first thing you should come and check. And you want to check and make sure that that isn't popped, okay? See how I popped that out? That means it's popped. So you want to make sure that those are pushed in. If you aren't getting any lights, that's the first place we want to check, okay? Next, we're going to check the fuel tank. So I'm actually going to crawl under here. I'm going to look at our fuel tank. I'm going to make sure that it's not loose, that it's not leaking anywhere, you know, that our hoses are good and we have good connections everywhere. So you want to check that before you leave to go anywhere as well. Next, we're going to check our exhaust system, which is on the other side. So I'm going to crawl back from under here. And we'll go check that. Okay, so now I'm over here at the exhaust system. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to crawl under here. I'm going to look at our exhaust, make sure that it's mounted, that it's not loose, that it's not coming out of anything, that it's not leaking. You know, if it is leaking or cracked, you know, it can cause, you know, hazardous fumes to come out, and they can actually be a danger to you. So we just want to make sure that those are good. Last thing on our list is we want to check our trailer connection. So I'm going to come back here to our trailer connection. I'm going to make sure that the latch is on, that it's pinned, that it's fully seated on the ball. I'm going to make sure that I have my safety chains hooked up and crossed. I want to make sure that they're not going to drag on the ground. I want to make sure that my jack's all the way up. And then on this trailer, we haven't added our D-ring yet to add our breakaway cable. So what I would do is I'd actually go grab a D-ring or a carabiner, clip it on here, and then make sure that I clip it to the truck itself, okay? So that's our exterior. Next, we're gonna move to the engine bay, and we'll go through that quickly as well. All right, now moving on to the engine compartment.